Hi, this is Mary Drake, and I am just coming on today. We've been specifically looking and planning a little bit more with our Fully Activate You site between Beth and Samantha Vickers and Jennifer and myself about how to provide you tools and things that would help in a business structure or situation. So in this regard, I just wanted to share with you, I am very, very specific and have done this sort of type of planning for a number of years now. And I wanted to share with you that how I go about doing that. Now, I will also qualify this with anything that I say to you. I understand that my ears are hearing as well. And this is also a message to myself to be more diligent and thinking about the amazing opportunity that we have with Herbal Alchemy about how to treat this more as a business. And although, we have fantastic leaders here, I think Beth's call last week with the mindset reset ties right into this. And I thought it was excellent information as well. So thank you for that, Beth, and a shout out to you, because I think that if you are struggling with how to treat this as an actual business, although it is not, it is something that you have flexibility. It is something that you can fit into your schedule to be mindful and treat it as an actual business. So I am going to do some screen sharing. This is a large business plan that I have in my other business that I kind of changed out. And again, it is just a suggestion, but to make you think, you can actually print this out. I did do it colorized, but I would print it black and white because I don't like to pay for ink. If it helps you to write down or download the PDF, which will be available on the YouTube replay of this, I'll attach it as a link. But whatever, if you can use this as a resource and going into 2023, because we are hitting a lot of momentum in our company, we are really looking at massive growth and expansion. And if all of us that are in it initially and early on in the company can treat it as A, I have this amazing opportunity, and B, I'm going to treat this as a business. Yes, we want to build people, we want to mentor people, but we also have to be accountable to ourselves. So I'm going to do a screen share here. I know how to do this. Oh, screen share. Okay, I got it. Okay. Here we go. Open system preference, and let me find let me know if you can see this. Oh. Business. I am not your techie person, so I'm not sure. Okay, why is my screen share? Let's see this. I did this before. Can somebody help me?
Yeah, so center of your screen, you'll see screen share. Click that.
It says open system preferences. That doesn't do that. Didn't do that last time.
It should allow you to see different screens.
I get
they've done a revamp on their.
It says security and privacy. So I'm not sure what's going on. Multiple package. It says.
Do you want to send it to me?
I sent it in our chat.
Yeah.
And I can make you hang on, people. I apologize. I'm also make you a co-host, Jen.
Sure.
Okay. Let's see if Jen can pull that up for me, because mine goes into my computer and says advanced screen. Last time I did this with my individual team, my screen share came right up. So I don't know if that is something. Bear with me, guys, because I do have a good PDF to share with you. I sent it PDF yesterday.
Amazing, I will say, because we saw it last night. Stand by.
Yeah. I should have tested that this morning.
Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. And I will screen share. Of course, it's saying download it. Give me 1 second while it downloads. In the meantime, FYI that on our website, the pricing is out now.
Oh, good. Very good. Okay. Thank you so much, Jen. Good thing I also, because I am old school, I printed my own version just in case. So actually just the front cover page you can do. So in really being mindful, I have this actually scheduled in my day timer. I wrote it down as I started to plan to share this with you, that the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, I blocked from 8 to 2 to actually go through and fill this all out, because I cannot coach my team or do anything that I haven't done myself. And so I really want you to start to dream and think, what is my 5-year goal? And just write the first thing that comes to your mind. And then also, besides business, what do I want to achieve in my life? Every time you ask yourself a business goal, it is extremely helpful to also be mindful of what is the life goal, or what is the meaning or the basis of your belief system behind that business goal. Because we don't just achieve business goals when you can tie in. And again, Samantha will be revisiting the first week in January, our why. So all of these 3 segments, Beth's training last week on mindset reset, this training on your business goal and your business plan, and then January revisiting your why. Ultimately, every goal that you have in your life come back to your why. So what is the life goal? And so by setting it out further at 5 years, you have an actual map of where you want to go to. And each one of these business goals for the years are going to help you get to that destination. And likewise, what is my business goal in a year? What level do you want to be at? It might be an income level for you. It might be a ranking level for you. Just what do you want in your business? And again, why is that? So your 1-year life goal, you can literally look at and say, the reason I want to achieve this is because I want this. And that's a goal that you have. So Jen, if we can go to the next page, and then break it down to 6-month. So if we're setting these for January, and some of you, there's grace, you can do this at any time. If you don't get it done over Christmas break, work on it at the beginning of January, if this is something that resonates with you. But where do I want to be in June, personally and professionally? And likewise, where do I want to be in 30 days? So you have a plan in January for February, you have a plan in January for June, and you have a plan from January to January, plus you also have a plan for 5 years out. So it's, again, being mindful and thinking of, again, you're on a journey. Yes, you will adapt and change this, but you're working towards a specific goal, whether it's a numerical monetary goal as far as income, or it is a level. And likewise, you're working on that business goal to achieve something in your personal life. So it just makes you answer a few questions. I try to tell my team, write down the first thing that comes to mind. It doesn't have to be pretty. Just write it down, because you can obsess. If you're like me, you can, obsess over this for quite some time, but just write down the first thing. And it'll be interesting when you do it next year, as far as how those goals were on track. And we can get into that at a later date of tracking and achieving them. So then that just gives you an idea of what you want to do with your business. So moving on to page 4, your analysis of your business. This is really important. And I thought after the fact, I made these up. I left the bottom to make notes. You can do this however you want. How will I know if I'm making progress? Is it number of business partners? Is it number of ambassadors? Is it number of customers? Is it a combination of both? Is it achieving an income that is certain? It's a combination of any. What is the biggest pain in my business right now? There's a lot of different business training and that says, bite off. And what's that phrase? And one of you can help me, do the thing that you least want to do first in the day. So look at your pain point. What is the biggest pain point? For me, it's probably being really consistent on social media. I absolutely loathe it. I know that I like it. I would be a person that could literally chuck the computer. However, I work on an iPhone, I work on a Mac, and I work on an iPad because they are the most useful tools. Can I master that? I have no issue talking to people face to face. That's my wheelhouse. So that is easy for me to do. Getting on social media consistently, so I can already give you an answer of my biggest pain. If this is a social business, does this validate my personality, my level of customer service, how hard I work? No, not necessarily. But when you're in a social business, you have to be bite off eat the frog, as Denise said. Thank you, Denise. Actually, this is the way that people learn and want to have a relationship with you, is to be social. So, and step 3, so to identify what your pain point is. And step 3, what is going really well in my business? While you don't want to hyper focus on the pain point, you want to be aware of the pain point, and you also want to know what is your wheelhouse, because you're going to default to that when you're trying to avoid your pain point. But you also need to not constantly beat yourself down. And what is going really well, and what do I do well in my business? And then we don't want to be full of ego. That's not this type of company. We're not competing with one another, but you do have to give yourself some grace and acknowledge what you do well. And what brought you into MIG is probably what's going to resonate, and how you're going to bring more people, I said it, slipped and said MIG, into Herbal Alchemy. So be aware of that and what goes really well. So when you do get really uncomfortable, you know what your strengths are. It's important to know both. So in going to the next page, now I just did planners for you. I am an Uber. I've tried online. I've tried Excel spreadsheets. I've tried apps. I'm a paper planner. There's some motor memory to it, but really, for those of you who know what your daily plan is, there is some training that I've participated in quite a bit called My Perfect Week. There's also, I've listened to different, Darren Hardy is one that has time blocking when you want to do. You can dive into this as much as possible and as much as you would like. But having a set daily planner, I really try to keep Sundays as family time, because there's a lot of times I work 6 days a week. So that a lot of people plan for the week on Sunday evening. I have a belief system for me that because I work a lot of evenings, I work a lot of weekends, I truly, truly try to keep Sunday just family time and give myself the brain day off. So I generally do this daily planner for my next week, upcoming week. I try to do it Saturday morning with a cup of coffee. If I don't have to work that day, you fit it in where it works for you, but start to, and I also do my day timer with pencil, because I do have to have some flexibility. Things come up, and the only things that are in pen are things that I cannot change, like a doctor's appointment or things like that. But if I showed you my day timer, it would be all written up. I also keep track of the tasks that I actually did. So where I don't use this paper, this particular layout, I essentially do this task in my actual paper day timer. And I like to have a day timer that has a week at a time on there. So just so you're aware, just develop a system and get consistently with planning. If in fact, you know, you have a room mother meeting, a Halloween party on Tuesday afternoon, then block that out. That's a commitment that you have and you want to honor and keep for your family, but then figure out your work timeframes in between that and schedule them. So if I have to erase, my rule in my daily planner is if I have to erase, I have to find another window in the week that I can make up that time. So that's just a suggestion again, but having a daily planner. And so that is why I put this page in here, just to help you with, this is how I want my start to schedule my work week. Essentially, if you worked as an accountant or you worked as a teacher, you would know that your work hours were from 8 to 3, 7 to 5, and that's, you had your work tasks in there. And again, to treat this like a business, we need to have scheduled business hours. And so that's just helping me be mindful. Water intake, I thought that was funny. And mood tracker, mine would always be the middle guy with the tear. I'm just teasing. I actually do like to, I like to be busy and I like to accomplish things. I'm a very task-oriented person. So it actually makes me happier to have a full schedule, not overly full, but a full schedule on things planned. I am very much a planner. So if you go to weekly planner, I do this and I do say, this is what I want to overall accomplish on Monday, Tuesday. I know, since I run another business right alongside this, that Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, I have more time for my my herbal alchemy business than I do on Thursday and Friday. But then on the weekends, Saturday, I may have some time there. I know that going into it. So I plan on more time. This is just a personal preference now that my children have gotten older. I always start my week, and this sounds a little weird, but with at least a 12-hour workday on Monday. And that's just because between my two businesses, I like to get things out of the gate, and that's how I do it. So Monday is always a really long day for me. I never generally cook dinner. I always cook dinner on Sunday, so I would know Monday nights are leftovers. Just try to be mindful of what's the ebb and the flow to your business and start to think about that. So Tuesdays, right now, I'm actually at a church. I go to Bible study. So I know that that's a non-negotiable Tuesday morning. So my Tuesday weekly planner is always BSF, and then our Fully Activate group until a little bit after lunchtime. So I know that that Tuesday morning, I'm not going to be going on an appointment. I'm not going to be doing that. This call that the four of us do together to collaborate is extremely important to me. There is never going to be a call or an appointment between 11 and 1 on Tuesdays. So when you know those things and kind of look back at your schedule so that you can look forward on how to plan, the weekly planner is super helpful for me. So that's why I included it. Again, I have this done in a different format, but if this is helpful to you, and these are set that you can, again, in the top, the week, I would generally put the date up there, but just make some things. There are some things, a lot that I do is weekly goals. What do I need to accomplish this week that is going to make? And in your herbal alchemy business, so that you're not doing the month end run or something like that, be mindful of the first week of the month. Well, I need to get my numbers. I need to get the customers. I should follow up with the people that have said that they wanted to purchase. Kind of think about what is going to help you in that particular week achieve the goal that you want to, so you're not running at the end of the month, because we are very anti end of the month scramble. So just be thinking about that. And we've had other trainings about that too. So if we go to page 7, and I want to look to make sure, obviously you can do your monthly planner extracted from the daily and the weekly. And really, this is a place where I look at it and keep track. Big dates to me would be events, as in pop-up things. And if you're doing a home, facial with friends or something, those are the big events. I am going to push myself to have 2 events every month for 2023. So that's one of my goals. So to get in front of more people and do that, but those would be the things that you would utilize. Okay, on page 8, and again, analysis. I put 2 of these in here. This is really important. In my other business, I spend about 2 weeks on this. So I will tell you, this is just an introduction. SWOT analysis just means strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Threats are things that are outside and external that we cannot control, and those are the easiest. The market, other companies coming, direct sales companies, what their programs are. Those are things that you have absolutely no control over that may impact, friends joining other companies. If you've done your job and we need to bless and release and done a great job of someone you thought was going to be an alchemist, you have no control over other opportunities that they have. They may very well always stay amicable. They may very well come back to you. When we said what are the greatest pains, you might be able to copy over pain as a weakness in your business in this area. We've kind of identified what's really going well for me. And so those would be your strengths and opportunities. What are things that have been presented to me that are going to help me grow? And what are some possible things? New introductions, new networking, meeting, this person in this group. Just think about your opportunities you have. I actually included 2. The most helpful thing to do with this SWOT analysis so that you're self-aware of how you work your business is to give it to a business partner or a friend that you work with. It might be your upline. Let them do a quick SWOT analysis on you and compare to see if their assessment of strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats for you are the same as yours. And so we do that on our team. We look at here's a page. So these 2 pages are actually the same. It gives you a second page if you want to do that. That is how SWOT is actually designed, is to have someone that works for you or someone that knows you well. You try to avoid your spouse, but someone in your business arena that would actually be able to help you with that assessment. It just gives you that feedback of if you're on track. So we can go to the next screen. I know Jen had to take a phone call, so I will refer to it on my pages. And we're getting to the point. After your SWOT analysis, it is your daily business activity, which there will be a PDF for it. And what I did is I just copied our 5, 5, and 5 that we have trained on and did our fire starter challenge on. 5 new connections, follow the interactions, friend request, 5 invites to hearing more, inviting to a masterclass, a business opportunity, a 3-way chat, and following up with prospects. Again, we have talked about this. We have other trainings that overlap with this training, but just being mindful. You might have a different daily method of operation, and that's what you would actually do in those hours that you plan your business. So whatever daily method of operation your upline teaches you, or if you use our 5, 5, and 5 from our Fire Starter Challenge this summer, just come up with a non-negotiable that you need to do every day. And that's where you would, when you are scheduling your time, those are the activities that you would actually respond in. And then I believe our final page that I added in, which will be on the download, is not on here, but you'll see it. Be mindful and think about your business pillars. 4 business pillars mean that you actually have 4 table legs or 4 areas you're working on. So obviously your sphere, the people you know, like, and trust you already, again, not bombarding them with buy my herbal alchemy, become my business partner. But again, being mindful of always naturally bringing it up in a conversation. There's more power of attraction, posting about your health, doing things like that. But be mindful of the number one way for you to work your business is work within the people that know, like, and trust you, or your sphere. And then another pillar for me is going to be events in this new year. And you know what, that blinked out, Julie. So there will be a page with pillars on it when I do the final download. But just being mindful, write down what your pillars are so that you can say, okay, sphere, for me, it's going to be events. A pillar for most of us would be social media and being consistent with that. And whatever your 4th is, some people do events, some people do spa parties. Decide and what your 4th pillar is going to be, and look at those pillars as this is how I grow my business. And that having pillars, knowing that where you stand in your business, and those are going to be different. So a lot of us will have the sphere, and social media is our 2 pillars. If you only end up with 2 pillars that you can think of, that's great. If you can do 4, it just makes you mindful of how you're working. And then in your mind, it's I'm strong, I'm stable, and I have 4 different ways to build my business. So this is a really super condensed, because I want to stay mindful of our time. This is a really super condensed version. This type of business planning, like I said, can take up to 2 months or more. And in my other business, I spend 8 hours in workshops writing this up. But it so helps me when you have things just rolling in and rolling in and rolling in. I can refer to this business plan. I can look at it once a month. I can see where I'm going. I can see where I need to work and improve. And it's generally, because this is a Reader's Digest version, it shouldn't take more than 2 to 3 hours-ish of just writing the first thing that comes to your mind, but also making sure that you have a plan. So when you want to, okay, I'm hitting a stumbling block. Okay, I can reach out to Beth. I can reach out to Denise. She is my sponsor. And we can both be working on, here's the plan, 5-year, 1 year, 6 month, 1 month. And I know where I'm going, because without a map, we are guaranteed to just drive in circles and get nowhere. So I hope this was helpful. I am not preaching to you. I wanted to make sure, because again, I'm a very task-oriented person, that I know that my tone sometimes, this is also something that I need to implement for myself. So I want to be humble and tell you, I don't do all of this extremely, extremely well in this business, but it is something that I do well in my other that I want to transfer over. And I hope that it's been helpful to you as well. We are off the next 2 weeks for you to enjoy time with your family. We will be back on the Tuesday after New Year, which I believe is January 3rd. And Samantha will be teaching us on revisiting your why. So I know you guys have been really gracious. Are there any questions really quick? And then I will end the recording. That's all? Okay. Thank you all very much. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas and know that I am extremely grateful. This group, besides the ambassadors here, the other Core 4 leaders have been one of the biggest blessings in my life. So I hope that you all have a fantastic Christmas, enjoy, and Merry Christmas to you all. We'll see you after the new year. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Christmas.